Welcome to a new Smart Tech Check Edu series episode. Let me ask you a question. What if the most important AI device of the next decade is not your phone, not your headset, and not your computer? What if it is a pair of glasses, specifically lightweight, stylish AI smart glasses? Apple has not announced AI smart glasses, so this is not a product announcement. This is a strategic analysis, but the case is getting harder to ignore, especially when you think about what AI smart glasses could enable over time. A new surface for health monitoring, prevention, wellness coaching, and disease management. In this video, we are going to answer 3 questions. Why AI smart glasses? Why would Apple enter this category? And why could health and wellness become the biggest long-term payoff? My name is Brett Falk, and I've spent more than 25 years in product management and product strategy roles across Fortune 100 companies and startups. I'm happy to be back as a guest contributor for this Smart Tech Check Edu series episode. Let's get started. AI smart glasses are no longer just an experiment. Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses reportedly sold around 7 million units in 2025 alone, with more than 9 million cumulative units since launch. That matters because many people thought this category was dead after Google Glass. But Meta proved something important. People will wear camera-equipped AI glasses if the product looks normal, feels stylish enough, and is socially acceptable. That is the first big unlock, social permission. The second unlock is prescription eyewear. Roughly 75% of US adults need some form of vision correction. That means glasses are already part of daily life for a massive portion of the population. For prescription users, smart glasses are not asking them to wear something completely new. They are asking them to upgrade something they already wear. That is the zero-friction beachhead. And when you combine prescription lenses, cameras, microphones, speakers, AI assistants, and eventually health sensors, you start to see why this could become one of the most important wearable categories since AirPods. The category is no longer theoretical. The market is being created right now. Now let's look at why Apple would care. Apple is one of the most successful companies in the world, but strategically, it still has a concentration problem. Roughly half of Apple's revenue comes from the iPhone. More than $200 billion tied to one product family. The iPhone is not going away, but it is a mature category, and smartphone growth is now mostly replacement-driven. At the same time, Apple's wearables business has slowed. Apple Watch has plateaued. AirPods remain very successful, but face commoditization pressure over time. So Apple needs another premium wearable, not just another accessory. A new daily use device that deepens the ecosystem, creates new services opportunities, and gives Apple Intelligence a surface that is always with the user. That is where smart glasses become strategically interesting. The iPhone gave Apple the mobile computing layer. AirPods gave Apple the ambient audio layer. Apple Watch gave Apple the wrist-based health layer. Smart glasses could give Apple the visual AI layer and potentially the eye-based health layer. But Apple is not entering an empty market. Meta is scaling. Google is entering with Gemini and fashion partners. Samsung is expected to enter with Galaxy glasses while expanding Samsung Health. So Apple cannot simply show up with basic AI smart glasses. By the time Apple arrives, the bar will be much higher. Before we get to health, let's be clear about what smart glasses solve first. They reduce the screen dependency tax. Every time you pull out your phone, you break context. You look down, you unlock, you tap, you search, you scroll, and often you get distracted. Smart glasses create the possibility of an eyes-up interface. That does not mean smart glasses replace the phone, at least not anytime soon. The phone is still better for typing, browsing, shopping, banking, editing, and visual apps. But smart glasses could replace the moments when pulling out your phone is awkward, slow, unsafe, or socially disruptive. Translate a sign, capture a moment, ask a quick question, get a reminder, understand what you are looking at. That is the near-term wedge. There is also a social AI problem. Saying, "Hey Siri," in a meeting, on a train, or in an office is awkward. That is why Apple's reported Qt AI acquisition is strategically interesting. If the technology can decode whispered or silent speech from facial micro movements, Users may be able to interact with AI without speaking out loud. That changes the social dynamics. The biggest AI interface may not be a louder voice assistant. It may be an invisible one. Now we get to the biggest strategic idea. AI smart glasses may start as an AI accessory, but the ultimate value proposition may be health and wellness. The reason is simple. No other wearable can see the eye. The eye is uniquely valuable because it gives non-invasive access to signals other wearables cannot capture. The optic nerve is part of the central nervous system. Retinal microvasculature can reveal vascular health. Pupil behavior can reflect stress, cognitive load, attention, and fatigue. That makes glasses fundamentally different from a watch. Apple Watch measures from the wrist. Smart glasses could potentially measure through the eye, face, temple, nose bridge, and head movement. That opens up a new health and wellness surface. In the near term, this is about wellness signals: pupil diameter, blink rate, eye movement patterns, fatigue, cognitive load, attention, stress, gait, and fall risk. Over time, research suggests eye movements and retinal indicators may be relevant to neurological and systemic conditions. Saccadic eye movement abnormalities have been studied as potential early markers for Parkinson's disease. Mild cognitive impairment markers have also been studied through eye-related patterns. And in the long term, retinal imaging may be able to support screening for conditions like diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and hypertensive retinopathy. But we need to be disciplined. There is a big difference between wellness signals and regulated diagnostics. A product can help you understand fatigue or stress without making a medical diagnosis. But if a device claims to detect disease, that becomes a regulated medical pathway. That means clinical validation, FDA clearance, liability frameworks, data privacy, reimbursement models, and physician workflow integration. So the thesis is not, Apple glasses will diagnose disease on day one. That would be hype. The better thesis is this: smart glasses could become the first mass market wearable that turns vision correction into preventive health monitoring. That is the big idea. The device people already wear to see the world could become the device that helps each of us and potentially our healthcare providers identify health problems earlier. That is why this is much bigger than camera glasses. The consumer may think they are buying AI glasses. Apple may be thinking about the next health platform. This is where product roadmap discipline matters. Gen 1 is not the medical breakthrough. Gen 1 is about daily wear. The job of Gen 1 is to make smart glasses useful, comfortable, socially acceptable, prescription-ready, and trustworthy enough that people wear them every day. Without daily wear, nothing else matters. The health platform does not work if the device sits in a drawer. Gen 1 health may be mostly indirect: stress or cognitive load from voice patterns, gait analysis and fall detection from motion sensors, possible temperature or fever screening concepts, and Apple Watch health data, surfaced more contextually. Gen 2 is where eye-based wellness becomes more interesting. Pupillometry could measure stress, cognitive load, and fatigue. Blink rate could help identify drowsiness or attention patterns. Saccadic tracking could become a research-backed wellness or monitoring signal. PPG sensors on the temple or nose bridge could support heart rate variability, and blood oxygen measurements. This is where glasses begin to do something Apple Watch cannot do as well. They add the eye. Then Gen 3 and beyond is where the ambition gets much bigger. Retinal imaging could eventually support screening for diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration, hypertensive retinopathy, and potentially other systemic health indicators. But again, that is conditional. Hardware miniaturization is one bottleneck. It is not the only bottleneck. FDA pathways, clinical trials, liability, false positives, false negatives, reimbursement, data privacy, and physician workflows may be even more difficult than the hardware. That is why the roadmap has to be staged correctly. Gen 1 is about making it a daily habit. Gen 2 adds wellness signals. Gen 3 includes conditional regulated diagnostics. And that staged roadmap is still enormous, because if smart glasses can move healthcare even slightly from reactive to proactive, the societal impact could be massive. Earlier signals, earlier intervention, better chronic disease management, fewer missed warning signs, more personalized longitudinal health data, better quality of life. That is the real health platform opportunity. So, what is Apple's potential core strength? First, the Q.AI technology Apple acquired is designed to enable silent speech and subtle facial movement recognition into devices for hands-free, non-verbal interactions and improve speech clarity in challenging or noisy environments. It analyzes micro movements of facial muscles, skin, and the jaw. The implication is support for non-verbal Siri commands using, for example, lip or cheek movements without speaking out loud. Longer term, this technology may also provide additional biometric and emotional sensing. The user experience impact could be extremely positive. Second, Apple Intelligence has to work. If Siri AI cannot identify what you are seeing, understand context, respond quickly, and execute daily tasks, the product becomes a premium camera with speakers. That will not be enough. Third, Apple must protect trust. Smart glasses have cameras and microphones. They are worn in public. They affect not only the user, but everyone nearby. Privacy, clear recording indicators, responsible AI, and health credibility are not optional. They are central to adoption. So the formula is simple, but difficult. Social acceptability, daily utility, trust. Solve all three, and smart glasses can become Apple's next platform. Miss one, and the category becomes much harder. So here is the final thesis. Apple is entering late. The hardware category is already being proven. Meta has scale. Google brings AI. Samsung brings ecosystem and health momentum. And Apple may still have the biggest long-term opportunity. Why? Because the most important version of AI smart glasses may not be a camera on your face. It may be a private, personal, prescription-ready, ecosystem-aware health and AI platform. A device that sees what you see, understands your context, reduces your dependence on looking down at a phone, helps you interact with AI more naturally, and eventually monitors wellness and health signals no other wearable can capture. The iPhone made computing mobile. AirPods made computing ambient through audio. Apple Watch made health wearable. Smart glasses could combine all three: ambient AI, personal context, and a new health sensing surface. That is why this category matters. Not because Gen 1 will do everything, it will not. But because Gen 1 may be the first step toward a much bigger platform, the device tens of millions of people already wear to see the world may become the device that helps detect more health problems earlier. That is the strategic case. And that is why Apple smart glasses could be a health device in disguise. If you were the product manager for Apple Smart Glasses Gen 1, what would you prioritize first? AI assistance, camera capture, silent input, prescription lens support, health and wellness, or something else entirely? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you found this strategic analysis useful, hit like and subscribe. If you need help with strategic planning or solving challenges related to roadmap planning, business strategy, marketing, messaging, brand growth, research, or market analysis, the Smart Tech team is ready to help. Click the link below to request a complimentary 60-minute planning workshop with the Smart Tech team. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.